It's named Motown Sunday 3. Did it get lost? Is that confusing, or is there something I can do differently, Amelia?
Oh no, it's just I've got your face on my tablet and the Spotify on my phone.
Okay.
I can't follow the link.
Gotcha. I could text it to you if you want. I know, it's all the devices. I've got my phone over here. Hello, this is the live stream I'm kind of ignoring because I see my people on Zoom. And hello, everybody. Deb, hi. Hi, Deborah. Okay, let me do just a couple things and then we will get started. Let me go to, first of all, that you'll know I have to do my multitasking first. When other teachers do their live stream, I'm on the quiet end, posting comments and making sure everything's live. Hello, I haven't said hello yet. Hello. So let me post my comments on Facebook. Terrible thumbnail like always. What can you do? Oh, mute. Never do that quick enough. Okay, and donation links for the live stream people. On Facebook so far. Spotify playlist for the Facebook people is now up in the comments. Almost ready to start. Let me see if I can mute this one fast enough. Not really. And public comment. Spotify playlist for the YouTube people. And donation links for the YouTube people. I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything? Okay, check out the comments on YouTube and Facebook for the playlist and the donation links. Hi, Becca. Hi, Becca. Spotify, I get a little frenetic. Let's see what we can do. Let me get back to my Zoom people. Hi, Mike. Who else just came in while I was off? Hi, you guys. Here is the Spotify playlist if you don't have it yet. It's in the chat. Almost ready to start. Okay. Not a good angle, I know. Hi, everybody. Okay, if you have any requests, go ahead and list them in the comments. Thank you, Struan. I'll go ahead and I'll give it another minute before I lock the room. I won't forget this time. Hi. Okay. Let me know if you have comments let me know if you have requests in the comments. My brain will come online after Zoom and Facebook and Spotify and YouTube and my laptop and my phone and everything else. Hi, yes, I'm so excited and ready to. Any requests? I haven't seen any yet, so it'll just be up to me and my nutty mind. Of course, pregnancy prompts, yes, always. Okay, y'all, let's get started. Holler out at me if you have any questions. So I am interactive, face-to-face with people on Zoom. I am live streaming to Facebook and YouTube. So we'll see what happens. Let me know. Let's get started in a comfortable seated position, please. Make your way to a comfortable seat. We'll hold on the playlist for a moment. Close your eyes. There. The meeting is locked, so nobody can bomb us. Okay. Comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. I have a block today. Sit up tall. Rest your hands on your legs or in your lap, but let your elbows rest back underneath your shoulders so that your chest is open and so that your shoulders are soft. Relax the muscles of your face and your jaw and your ears, and begin to deepen your breath. So usually I feel this level of excitement, this kind of buzzing energy, where I get to see people, right? We've all been in isolation. We get to see people, and I latch onto it, and I say, yes, I'm so excited. And I think about what I'm going to teach, and I have all my different methods of technology and devices. And so I have to go within, and I have to start this grounding energy, where I move everything in a downward motion in my body, and I start to slow it down. Pay attention to the way that your breath moves, long, slow inhales, and focus on making your exhales even just a little bit longer than your inhales. Give your exhalations length and quality, and pay attention to how that might change your experience. And bring your hands to prayer at your chest and bow your mind to your heart. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can do that now. Lift your chin from your chest, open your eyes, and release your hands away from your heart. Child's pose, please make your way onto a tabletop of all fours. Close your big toes together so that they touch. You can push play on your playlist. I forgot last week to say it. Now you can push play. It starts off kind of slow always, so when we're in this slow place. Rest your forehead either down onto the floor. If you have access to a yoga block or a big book or something that you're using as a prop, you could always put your forehead down onto a block. One of the biggest modifications for pregnancy in any pose is to take your knees wider apart to make room for your belly. If it's ever uncomfortable, you make a change. You could always stay seated upright if that's better for you. So we're in a child's pose. Extend your fingertips forward toward the top of your mat so that your arms grow straight and long. We'll introduce a little side stretch. Walk your hands out and over to your right. So your hands will probably move off of your mat. Your forehead is on the floor. I do some squirrely things just so that I can keep talking to the microphone and looking at my Zoom people, but you'll have your forehead on the ground as much as it's comfortable for you so that the back of your neck is long. I'm always squirrely, you know that. In this side stretch that you're feeling in your left side, crawl your left fingers even more out and away from your left hip so that your left side body gets even longer from your left hip to your left fingertips. Then move your whole rib cage, stay in the pose, but soften your whole rib cage more to your left. Deepen your breath into your left side. Other side, slowly walk your hands back through center and out and over to your left. You can take your time in that transition. We're never in a rush. And once you get where you're going, where your hands are probably off the left side of your mat, crawl your right fingers even longer, farther out and away from your right hip. You can place your forehead either on the floor or on a book, a yoga prop, or even your left forearm, if that feels better. Stay in the pose, move your whole rib cage more to your right, and deepen your breath into your right side. Yeah, seeing people's pets on Zoom is probably like just the cherry on top. It's like my number one most fun thing. Walk your hands back through center. Lift yourself up to a tabletop of all fours. Place your knees directly underneath your hips. Extend your toes straight back from your knees and place your wrist directly underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide and make your hands strong Take an inhale, look up. Drop your belly, fill your lungs. Exhale, round your back. Press your spine to the sky. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail. Inhale, glance up. Drop your belly. Spread your sitting bones. Good. Exhale, round your back. Cat pose. Hug your front ribs up toward your back ribs. Inhale, glance up. Drop your belly. Fill your lungs completely. Exhale, spine to sky, chin to chest, empty your lungs. Last time to inhale, look up, drop your belly, tuck your toes. Downward dog, exhale, create any warm-up movements that you like. You could pedal it out. You can move your hips side to side with or without pedaling out your legs to feel a little bit more length in the side bodies like we've already worked on. Stretch your hips higher up and back behind you. Your heels do not have to touch the floor. Your knees do not have to be straight. Child's pose again. Set your knees down wider than your hips. Close your big toes together so that they touch and set your hips back to your heels. Stretch your fingers forward toward the top of your mat so that your arms are straight and strong. Then invite your hips to be a little bit heavier as they move down and back. Inhale, tabletop. Lift yourself up to all fours. Exhale, bend your elbows straight back and lower all the way to your belly. It's okay to have your knees a little bit wider. If that's uncomfortable, you can bring them closer together. Press the tops of your feet down, little cobra. Inhale, lift your chest. So you're using your back muscles rather than your hands. Exhale, child's pose. Take your time, press yourself back, hips to heels, bring your big toes together. Stay here, take a huge breath in, and a big breath out. Inhale, tabletop, deep breath in. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. You can separate your feet in that transition. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest, press your feet hard down. Exhale, child's pose. Press through a tabletop, big toes together, forehead to the floor. Stay here, inhale. Stay here, exhale. One more time like that. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, lower to your belly. You can take your feet apart. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. One big breath into the back of the ribs. And a big breath out. Tabletop. Inhale. Downward dog. Exhale. Place your heels in line with your sitting bones so that your feet are not super wide apart and they're not quite touching. Bend your knees a little bit and spike your heels up high into the air. So your back is really long and straight, your hips are high. Keep your knees bent and walk your hands back to meet your feet. You'll eventually place your heels down onto the floor. Make your heels a little bit heavier as you shift your weight back into them. Drop your head and grab hold of opposite elbows. You can bend your knees a lot or a little, depending on how much you're feeling in the backs of your legs. Breathe deeply. Release your arms so that they drape back down to the floor if you had taken any arm variation. Bend your knees a little bit more than they are. Drop your head and roll slowly to standing. Chin is the last to lift. Let your arms just hang. Slowly rise. And bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. You can bend your knees on the way down if your hamstrings feel tight. Inhale, halfway lift. Either hands to shins or fingertips can stay on the floor. Exhale, fold. Again, just a halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Pull the front of your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen. Pull the front of your heart more through your shoulders. Downward dog, exhale. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Help your foot forward if it didn't make it, so your knee is over your heel. Set your left knee down onto the ground and make your left leg feel long back behind you. Point your left toes back so it's the top of your left foot on the floor. Inhale, reach your arms to the ceiling. Deep breath in. And exhale, interlace your hands at your low back. Lift your heart up, lift your rib cage up off of your hips, and then slide your knuckles more down toward the floor like you want your elbows to be a little bit straighter. If that doesn't feel good in your shoulders this early in class, you could put your hands on your hips. Bend your right knee straight forward, move your hips down and forward. Lift your heart up, then inhale, reach your arms up, deep breath in. Exhale, down dog, put your hands down, step back, and lift your hips. Step your left foot forward between your hands, help it if it doesn't make it. Set your right knee down onto the floor. Make your right leg feel long back behind you. Untuck your right toes, reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale, interlace your hands at your low back or hands to hips. Lift your heart up. Start to straighten your elbows so that your knuckles slide more down and feel the expansion that is happening between the fronts of your shoulders. Bend your left knee straight forward and move your hips down and forward. Make the back of your neck long. Lift your heart up. Then inhale, reach your arms up, deep breath in. Down dog, exhale, hands to the floor, step back and stretch your hips. Take your feet wide to the edges of your mat. Feet wide to the edges of your mat. Stretch your hips up and back behind you and add some movement as your hips sway from side to side. And step your feet sitting bone distance apart again. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach your arms up high. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga, that's mid-plank. Put your hands down, step your feet back, and lower either halfway or lower to your belly. Cobra or up dog, your choice. You could be low in Cobra, high in Cobra, or choose up dog. Back to down dog when you're ready. Exhale. Hold in down dog, spread your fingers wide. Push the floor away from you with your hands. And make the sides of your body longer. Stretch your hip creases up and back away from your armpits. Keep your ears in line with your arms instead of sinking your neck or head or chin down through your arms. And lengthen to press the crown of your head down and forward toward your thumbs. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift when you get there, lengthen. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, rise to standing, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Press your inner thighs more backwards. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, chaturanga, put your hands down, take your feet back and lower halfway or all the way. Untuck your toes, cobra or up dog, lift your heart. Downward dog, exhale, hold down dog, and breathe. Slow down your breathing. And be inside your body. Imagine that your skin is like the container for your awareness. Your awareness can move slowly through that container, taking an inventory without any kind of judgment. One more Sine. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step, walk, or jump. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, hands to prayer at the chest. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Bend your elbows straight back as you lower. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Lift your heart. Lift your ears up off your shoulders. Downward Dog. Exhale. Inhale, stretch your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Rise to standing. Exhale, interlace again your hands at your low back. Bend your right knee straight forward. Lengthen to point your tailbone more down instead of back. And then lift the back of your left knee toward the ceiling any amount. Lift your ribs up, lift your heart up, inhale. Stay here, start to straighten your elbows and slide your knuckles more down to the floor. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, stand on your right leg. Lift your left knee up to your belly. Might take a few steps to get there. You might fall over on the way. That's kind of the point. We're not trying to be good at it. Lift your left knee without lifting your left hip. Take an inhale. Exhale, warrior three. Extend your left leg straight back behind you. Think about opposite numbers on a clock with your head and your left foot. Close your left hip down toward the floor. Land your left foot at the back of your mat. Inhale, stretch your arms to the ceiling, reach up. Exhale, Chaturanga or down dog. Put your hands down, step back and lower. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach up. Exhale, interlace your hands at your low back. You can always move slower than my cues if that's what works for you. Bend your left knee straight forward. Lengthen your low back by pointing your tailbone down. Then lift your heart up, lift your ribs up off of your pelvis. And start to slide your knuckles more down toward the floor. Tone your belly. Hug your low belly back to the front of your spine. Hug your ribs in. Then on your next inhale, stand on your left leg. Lift your right knee up to your belly. Lift your right knee without lifting your right hip. Make your standing leg straight without locking the knee. And take one more inhale. Warrior three. Exhale, extend your right leg straight back behind you. You can have your head high and your foot low as a way to modify. The more parallel your torso and right leg are, the more challenging the pose will feel. Close your right hip more down to the floor. Then land your right foot at the back of your mat. Inhale, stretch your arms to the ceiling. Deep breath in. Exhale, Chaturanga or step to down dog and hold. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, Downward Dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step or jump. Sit down onto the floor. We missed it last week, I know. Lie down onto your back. Okay, we're setting up for some core work. I have some pregnancy modifications for you, and then we'll be back on the feet in a jiffy. I hope it's a good song to get you through. Okay. Arms down alongside the body, palms flat by your hips. If you know that you have any low back issues or you want this to be a little bit easier right off the bat, you could tuck your hands underneath the back of your hips. Thumbs or hands underneath your hips can make this a little bit more manageable. Bring your knees toward your chest. So you're hugging your knees tight to your chest. If you're pregnant, you can do this with wide legs. On an inhale, try to lift your hips up off the floor. So it's a little different and we'll figure it out together, right? So you pick your hips up off the floor just as best you can. The more you use your hands, the easier it is, and set your hips back down. The next move is to extend the legs straight. If you're pregnant, you'll set your feet on the floor instead of doing this, and then I'll talk you through it in a second. You'll extend your legs straight out and away from you. The higher your legs are, the easier it is. The lower your legs are, the more challenging it is. Inhale, bring your knees to your chest and pick your hips up off the floor. Exhale, push your legs straight out and away from you. There it is. Inhale, curl the hips up. Exhale, push your legs out and away. Keep moving at your own pace. It's a curl with the hips on the inhale and a push of the legs straight on the exhale. If you're pregnant, you could be doing the curl with the hips up and knees wide. Then when you set your feet on the floor, if you'd like to add an extra engaging movement, pick your hips up off the floor, like a little bit of a bridge pose to engage the back side of the body. So you could be doing the curl on the inhale and the lift on the exhale. As you keep doing it, I'll start the countdown very soon. If you would like to make this more challenging for the last countdown, keep your legs straight and curl your hips up off the floor from there, then lower your straight legs to the floor. So countdown is going to start. It's a curl on the inhale and a lowering on the exhale. 5, 4, 3, could be pushing out with knees bent. Last 2, almost done. Keep going, last 1. And release. You can either plant your feet on the floor or hug your knees to your chest. So I love those pelvic, like where you're curling the back of the hips up off the floor for targeting the low belly, the very low belly that is kind of tricky to target sometimes. And then the legs extending out kind of got our middle. And let's take it to the sides a little bit. One more thing before we get back onto the feet so that we can target the obliques and the sides of the body. Stack your knees on top of your hips. So instead of the knees hugging into the chest right now, push your feet forward until your knees are stacked over your hips. You can either flex your feet or point out through the balls of your feet like you're stepping on 2 gas pedals. Interlace your hands behind the back of your head, but wrap your elbows so that they point up to the ceiling. Look at the ceiling above your face. Inhale, lift your elbows up, lift your heart up. Exhale, curl your low back down into the floor. So it's almost like we're not actually picking the hips up off the floor, but it's almost like you want that engagement to happen. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist your elbows to your right. Up and over to your right. Push your left leg 45 degrees out and away from you. If you want it to be more challenging, drop your left leg to hover an inch off the floor. Hold and breathe. Back through center, knees together, lift your elbows up. Exhale, twist up and over to your left. Lift high and twist far. Push your right leg 45 degrees out and away from you. If you want it to be more challenging, drop your right leg to hover an inch off the floor. Hold here. Inhale through center, knees together, elbows up. Exhale, twist to the right, extend your left leg out. So we're moving a little faster with the breath here. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist to the left, extend your right leg. Just one more time on each side. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right, extend your left leg. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist to the left, extend your right leg. Last time back through center, inhale, lift your heart higher. Exhale, release head and feet to the floor. You did it. We're done. Hug your knees to your chest. Little rock from side to side. Next place we'll be together is standing on the feet. If you like to rock up and down from your shoulders to your hips, go for it. I don't like to do that rocking motion. I just like to get myself standing on my feet. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Take your time if you're still standing up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up high. Exhale, interlace your hands at your low back. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, shift your weight to your right foot. Pick your left knee up to your belly. Standing on the right foot, you've lifted the left knee up to the belly. Lift your heart up. Inhale. Exhale, warrior three. Extend your left leg straight back behind you. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, land your left foot at the back of your mat. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Warrior two. Exhale, place your back heel down. Nice long stance. Point your right toes straight exactly forward and bend your right knee straight forward. Extend your arms out long, reaching the fingers apart from each other. Place the back of your left hand at your low back. You can either do left hand to left hip as a modification, or you could take your left fingers on top of your right thigh as an intensification. Bend your right knee more. Turn your right hand palm face up. Reverse warrior, reach your right arm up and back. I hope the sound is okay since I'm kind of facing away from the microphones. Straighten your right leg all the way. Reach your right arm more up and back. Then tip your hips back so your left hip is moving toward the back of your mat. Reach your right arm toward the front of your mat. Inhale. Keep your left hand where it is. Exhale, triangle with the half bind. Right hand down. I'm going to take my block. If you have a book or a water bottle or a bottle of Clorox wipes is what I was going to use last week. You can put your hand up on a block. Or prop. Makeshift. Turn your left chest open away from the floor and lean your shoulder blades backwards in line with your right leg. Keep your left hand where it is. Bend your right knee. Extend your right arm forward toward the top of your mat. Turn your palm face up again. Inhale, reverse warrior. One more time, reach up and back. Exhale, chaturanga. Release your hands down, step back, and lower. Inhale, up dog, or cobra. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step, walk, or jump. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Lengthen the sides of your body forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, standing, reach up. Exhale, interlace your hands at your low back. Inhale, heart up, knuckles down. Exhale, stand on your left foot. Pick your right knee up to your belly. Tone your belly. Lift your heart. Inhale. Exhale, warrior three. Extend your right leg straight back behind you. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, land your right foot on the floor. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Nice long stance. Make sure you check out how your feet landed. Place your feet in heel to heel alignment if that's not what happened during the transition. Then take the back of your right hand to your low back. You could do right hand on right hip, right hand to the low back, or right hand on left thigh. Bend your left knee straight forward. Turn your left hand palm face up. Reverse warrior. So right now, instead of the right hip hiking up, drop your right hip down, lift your left sitting bone away from the floor. Reach your left arm more up and back. Then straighten your left leg all the way. Make your left side body longer as you reach. Then exhale, reach forward, tip your right hip back. Reach forward, keep your right hand where it is, triangle. Exhale, left hand down, maybe onto a prop. Turn your right chest open away from the floor. Lean your two shoulder blades straight back. So there's this tendency for the chest to go forward and the hips to go back. Everybody looks really good on that. At least those of you I can see from that plane, right? Keep your half bind with your right hand. Bend your left knee and stand up. Extend your left arm straight forward. Turn your left hand palm face up. Reverse warrior, keeping this half bind. One more time, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, release your hands. Step back and lower. Inhale, up dog, lift your heart. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, interlace your hands at your low back. Inhale, lift your heart up, slide your knuckles down. Exhale, stand on your right leg, lift your left knee to your belly. Inhale, lift your left knee higher. Exhale, warrior three, extend your left leg straight back. Hold for an inhale, new pose here. Exhale, standing splits, release your hands to the floor or blocks or whatever you have in front of you. Make your left leg straight and lift the back of your left thigh bone up, doesn't matter how high. Drop your head so that the back of your neck is long. Breathe. Good, one more. Inhale, lift your left thigh bone. Exhale, land your left foot at the back of your mat. Wide-legged fold, turn to your left. Pivot all 10 toes to point in the same direction. It's an unfortunate view, but guess what? I'm facing the microphone, so I'm keeping it. Pigeon toe a little bit, turn your toes in and your heels out. Lift your kneecaps toward your hips. And press your inner thighs a little bit more back. So it's like you want to roll your outer hips slightly more forward. Inhale, halfway lift, like you want to lengthen your spine parallel to the floor. Exhale, hands to hips, rise up to standing. How's that for a transition? Turn your toes out and your heels in. Bend your knees and place your hands down onto your thighs. You can hold here. Some people will enjoy placing your forearms down onto your thighs to take the hips a little bit lower and to get deeper into the inner thighs. If you're like me, you might feel enough without that. You could drop down one shoulder at a time as you invite each inner thigh to open a little bit more. Okay, stand up, straight legs, straight arms. Turn your left heel, I'm facing the other way now, turn your left heel a little bit more back than the toes. Turn your right toes so they point straight exactly forward. Warrior two, bend your right knee. Inhale, reach forward like you want to touch your front wall. Extended side angle. Exhale, place your right elbow to your right thigh and reach your left arm alongside your left ear. Bend your right knee a lot so that this pose is a hip opener for you. If you need to take a longer stance or sit deeper, your right hand might touch a block or touch the floor. Place both hands on the floor to the inside of your right leg. So we're not changing the feet. That's the tricky part of this transition. We're not changing the back foot. Place both hands to the inside of your right foot on the floor. Left leg is still straight. Open your right knee away from your right shoulder. So I don't know if you can see this. Instead of the right knee caving in, open your right knee to the right. You can either hold here or walk your hands out and away from you like you're doing a down dog in your upper body. Ears in line with arms, 2 more breaths. Okay, walk your hands back underneath you and around to frame your right foot. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Oops, sorry. Okay, this is the last side of the last standing sequence. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the low back, they interlace. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, stand on your left leg, lift your right knee to your belly. Inhale, lift your right knee up. Exhale, warrior 3. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, standing splits, hands touch down either to the floor or to props. You can bend your left knee as much as you need to make that happen. Make your left foot heavier and your hands lighter. Make the back of your neck long. Good. One more inhale, lift the back of your right thigh bone. Exhale, land your right foot at the back of your mat. Wide-legged fold, turn to your right. So it's a symmetrical pose. Pigeon toe a little bit so your toes are turned in more than your heels. Press your inner thighs back, press your outer hips forward. And slow down. So those of you who take my class in person know that this is one of my favorite poses. It's one of my favorite poses physically, but also energetically, especially in the last standing sequence when you're working so hard. This is a place where you can make some change in your body, right? So it's not a rest. It's not like we're taking a break, but it is somewhere where you can slow down. Where you can take an inventory. Am I doing all the right things for myself? So with everything that's going on, this hour should not be a way that you treat yourself anything except wonderful. What kind of decisions are you making for yourself right now? Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, hands to hips, stand all the way up. Toes out, heels in. Bend your knees, place your hands down on your legs. You could do forearms to thighs as you sit the hips a little bit lower. Keep your hands there. You could hold still or drop down one shoulder at a time. So you might feel a little bit of side body lengthen, or you might feel a twist in the torso, but it's more about the hip opener and the asymmetry of how you use your left hand to press your left knee more away from you and how you use your right hand to press your right knee more away from you. Okay, stand up, straighten your legs, extend your arms out parallel to the floor. Turn your right heel back. So you have to pivot the back foot first. Turn your right heel more back than your right toes. And turn your left toes straight exactly forward. Bend your left knee so you're in warrior 2. Inhale, reach forward like you want to touch the front wall. Extended side angle, exhale. You can place your left forearm on top of your left thigh, bearing weight. But then instead of sinking your left ear down to your left shoulder, create space there. Your left hand might go lower than mine. You might touch your left hand onto a block or onto the floor. But it's not from reaching down with the upper body to the floor. It's from sitting deeper with the legs or taking a longer stance. Make your right side body longer as you reach your right fingers away from your right heel. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor inside the left foot without changing the right foot. The legs are still in warrior 2 pose. You can either keep your hands underneath your shoulders, so this is the first variation of the pose, or walk your hands out and away from you so that you feel like you're doing something more like down dog in your upper body. Open your left knee away from your left shoulder. Okay, walk your hands back around to frame your left foot at the top of your mat. Step back to plank pose. Inhale. Either down dog or chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, up dog. Lift your heart. Make the back of your neck long. Good. Downward dog. Exhale. Comfortable seated position. You could be kneeling. You could be cross-legged. Close your eyes and make your way there. So this is something that I got from my favorite teacher, Jen Wooten, my mentor. I really love taking this time after the challenge and the sensation of the standing sequences, just to sit for a moment before we move on to the cool down or the other portion of class. So I have learned in my own practice and through my own body that we learn just as much in between the poses and in between the sequences as we do while we're in them. We learn so much while we're in the poses, right? But take a moment on your own. What can you learn about yourself, through yourself, in stillness and in quiet? Let your breathing be simple as it moves in and out of your nose. If you find that your mind wanders away from your experience, away from this moment, away from your body, just be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself and guide your awareness back here to your own experience. So all together, take a deep breath in, fill your lungs all the way. Open mouth, exhale, sigh. Empty your lungs completely, keep pushing, push more air out. One more deep breath in, fill your lungs all the way. Open mouth, exhale, sigh. Okay, you can open your eyes if you want to. Extend your right leg straight out on the floor in front of you. Bring the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right leg. Reach your arms to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold over your right leg. So there's this big tendency to, if we're more upright, even if we're more folded, for the arms to strain and stretch towards the toes. Like, oh, someday I'll touch my toes and then I can check this pose off my to-do list and therefore I'm a good yogi. So instead of stretching your arms forward, nothing changes about the pose except relax your arms more. To me, it just feels nice. You can think nose to toes. In this pose, what that does is instead of forehead to kneecap spine, nose to toes lengthens the spine so that you're folding at the hips. Actually, I'll stay in that perspective. Okay, leave your arms low, lift yourself back upright. Place your left hand on the floor behind you. So maybe 8 or 10 inches or so between your pelvis and your left hand. Reach your right arm toward the top of your mat. Slice your right arm through the air and reach to the back wall as you lift your hips. Your left knee stays on the ground, your right foot stays on the ground. You could either keep the back of your neck long or drop your head back. Lift your hips up and out away from the floor, up and out away from your body. Some of you might enjoy cactus, bending the right arm so that you press the right shoulder blade more into the back of your heart. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sit back down right where you came from. Point your left knee up to the ceiling so we still have the right leg extended straight forward. You point your left knee up to the ceiling so that your left foot is flat. Pick your left foot up and place it to the right side of your right leg. You can either leave your right leg extended straight forward or bend your right knee and bring your right heel to the outside of your left hip. If you're pregnant, you can go the opposite way of us. So if you're not pregnant, place your left hand behind you on the floor. If you are pregnant, place your right hand behind you on the floor. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling, inhale. Exhale, twist, hook your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, or wrap your right arm around the front of your left shin. Those of you making room for pregnancy, you can be turning open to your right. Press down through the ball mound of the big toe of your left foot. Feel your sitting bones ground down into the floor and lift your heart up, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Okay, inhale, look forward. Exhale, release, facing forward. Other side, extend your left leg straight forward. We've got the hamstring stretch first. Sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold over your left leg. Think nose to toes. So it'll lengthen the sides of your body. It'll lengthen your sternum up and out away from your pubic bone. And it'll lengthen your spine more. Breathe slowly and deeply. Then leave your arms low, lift yourself back upright. Place your right hand, I'm going to turn my body, you can stay where you are. Place your right hand behind you on the floor. We've got some space between the hips and the right hand. Reach your left arm straight to the front wall. Slice your left arm through the air as you lift your hips. Reach your left arm alongside your left ear. Your left foot is still on the floor, your right knee is still on the floor. Turn your left chest more open, away from the floor. You can either flex your left foot or point your left toes. The latter is more challenging. It's a little bit more of a stretch through the left side. Stretch your hips up and out away from this pose, up and out away from the floor. Make your left side longer. Inhale, exhale, sit back down. Point your right knee up to the ceiling. Pick your right foot up, place it to the left side of your left leg. You can either leave your left leg straight or bend your left knee and move your left heel toward your right hip. If that transition left you sitting off onto the side of your left hip or kind of wonky, just re-extend your left leg straight forward with me. Place your right hand behind you on the floor. Reach your left arm straight up. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Hook your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh or wrap your left arm around the front of your right shin. If you're pregnant, you can be opening to the left with your left hand behind you on the floor and your right arm wrapping around the front of your right shin. Press down through the ball mound of the big toe of your right foot. Breathe as deeply as you can into the twist of your belly. Okay, inhale, look forward. Exhale, release, facing forward. Lie down, flat onto your back. Lie down on your back, plant your feet on the floor so that your knees are bent. I think I can still see. Cross your right ankle to your left thigh if you would prefer to do half pigeon or double pigeon instead of reclined with me right now. Make your way there. I know some of you will prefer it. Pigeon of your choice. I'm teaching reclined pigeon. If you don't feel enough of a hip stretch right here with your left foot on the floor, interlace your hands behind the back of your left thigh or in front of your left shin. Lengthen your low back by pointing your tailbone like wherever you are in, imagine that there is a wall, a front wall with a baseboard. I don't know if you have that or not, but imagine you have a front wall with a baseboard. Point your tailbone at the bottom of that baseboard instead of letting your tailbone curl up like we worked on in core work. You'll feel your low back lengthen as your low back starts to actually lift and curve away from the floor. Just a couple more breaths. Take your time to switch sides. So left-legged pigeon of your choice. If you're in reclined pigeon, just take your other leg on top. If you're in a different version, take as much time as you need between sides. So it's left ankle to right thigh. You can either leave your right foot on the floor or interlace your hands behind the back of your right thigh or in front of your right shin. How's your breathing? Have you thought about your intention since you said it so long ago at the beginning of class? Or are you still using these poses as a way to be really wonderful to yourself? Release and unravel. If you're not on your back, meet me there so that we're all flat on the back with the feet planted. Hands can be anywhere. Separate your feet wider towards the edges of your mat. And windshield wiper your knees from side to side. When your knees fall to the left, push your right kneecap more forward to the front wall so the back of your right hip lifts. And when your knees fall to the right, push more through your left kneecap so that the back of your left hip lifts. A couple more times on each side. It's a slow motion. Hug your knees to your chest. Rock side to side. Happy baby, show the bottoms of your feet to the ceiling, flex your feet. Take your knees wider apart from each other, away from the midline. Grab a hold of the outer edges of your feet. You can also grab onto the fronts of your shins or even behind your knees. So sometimes the feet are too far away to grab. You can grab on behind your knees. Point your tailbone more forward instead of up. Take your knees away from your shoulders and pull straight down with your hands. One more time to hug your knees to your chest. And release, extend both of your legs so that they rest straight out on the floor in front of you. Release your arms so that they rest palms face up, down by your sides. As you settle into rest, I'm wondering if it's too late to do this. I made a mistake. I didn't remember to put my Shavasana song at the end. I might be able to do that real quick. I don't know if it'll update. If you want to continue listening to Motown, I'm not sure what song it's on. If you want to turn that off and just maybe enjoy a silent Shavasana or whatever you have going. Whichever you prefer is fine. So we'll be here for a few minutes in stillness. And I'll give you some quiet as well after we settle in, so that you can let this physical practice kind of melt down into your body. Let it integrate into the physical part of your body, the change that you have felt in muscles and joints and organs, in your lungs, the way that you feel right now. And then turn your awareness to that part of you that is beyond the physical. Do you feel a change in any other way? Soften down from the front to the back of your body. And release the weight of your whole body down into the earth beneath you. Give yourself permission to stay here with your awareness. Give yourself permission to be still. And give yourself permission to enjoy the rest. Begin to deepen your breath. Find movement in your hands and in your feet. Find movement in your arms and in your legs. Rock your head gently from side to side on the floor. And stretch your arms behind you on the floor. Take a long stretch, take a deep breath. Fetal pose either side, bend your knees, roll over, or rest your head on your bottom arm. And press your weight into your top hand, press up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. When you lift to your seat, bring your hands to prayer at your chest and bow your mind to your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. I hope I see you again next week. I hope you have a really good day. Namaste. Okay, y'all, happy Sunday. If you're on Zoom and you want to hang out for a minute after class, go ahead and hang out. We'll talk. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, we have included the links for donations. We really appreciate that if you're tuning in on Facebook or YouTube. Let me know if you have any questions, requests for next time, and I'll turn off the Facebook and the YouTube and I'll stay in on Zoom. We do these classes live streamed all day, every day through practiceyogaustin.com. Okay, I'll see y'all next week. Bye, YouTube.